Did a bloody fingerprint at Nicole Brown Simpson's North Walkway gate ever exist? And if it did, who pressed it there and why did it vanish? Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Brianne. I had 3 espressos and half a bagel, so consider me dangerously focused.
I'm buzzing because today is very crimey and a little conspiratorial, which is my happy place.
Of course it is. Meanwhile, I'm here to be the wet blanket of reason. Sorry, not sorry. Welcome to the Veil, unsolved and unbelievable.
Okay, so check this out. Today we're diving into the fringe theory I'm obsessed with. The phantom bloody fingerprint at Nicole's North Walkway gate in the O.J. Simpson case. I know it sounds wild, but hear me out.
Wait. A phantom print? As in alleged, uncollected, and never in evidence? I call BS already.
Back to the story. Quick refresher. We're in Brentwood. June 12, 1994. Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman are murdered outside Nicole's condo. Early morning on June 13th, Officer Robert Risk arrives and finds a bloody left glove. At least 14 officers and supervisors later reported seeing only one glove at the scene. Detectives Mark Fuhrman and his superior Ronald Phillips arrive, followed by Tom Lang and Philip Van Adder. They head to O.J. Simpson's Rockingham estate, where Fuhrman sees blood drops in and on the white Ford Bronco outside. He hops a wall to let others in, and they justify the warrantless entry by exigent circumstances, basically concerned that Simpson might be injured or worse. They talk to Cato Kalin, who says he heard thumps by the property's edge. The timeline gets built and then boom! Fuhrman locates a bloody right-hand glove at Rockingham that matches the left glove, whose DNA tests link it to the victims.
And that glove becomes the prosecution's star, while the defense argues it was planted by a racist cop. We all know how that credibility war played out. Fuhrman denied using the N-word in the prior 10 years under oath in March 1995, but tapes and witnesses contradicted him. Judge Lance Ito, under California Evidence Code 352, only let jurors hear a couple of short slur clips, not the most inflammatory stuff, but enough to torch his credibility. Then he takes the 5th, outside the jury's presence, when asked if he planted evidence. Disaster optics.
Right. In 1996, he pleaded no contest to perjury for lying about using slurs and got probation and a fine. He always denied planting anything. But here's the unexplained wrinkle I can't shake. My personal theory riffing on a fringe belief some court watchers whisper about. Fuhrman later said there was a bloody fingerprint at Nicole's North Walkway gate, allegedly noted by him and Detective Brad Roberts, and that it was destroyed. He claimed colleagues didn't even read his notes. If that print existed and had been preserved and matched Simpson, it would have wrecked the planting narrative. It would be an unanticipated, independent tie back to the scene. Not a glove carried across town by a corrupt cop in the dead of night.
Big ifs. There's no preserved print in the chain of custody, no lab report and no exhibit. The court barely touched it. That screams rumour more than record.
Totally. But listen to this anecdote that's lived rent-free in my head. Years later, I came across a first-person account from someone who said they were a night shift copy runner at the courthouse during the trial. They claimed they handled a supplemental scene processing index one night, skimmed it under a flickering light, and saw a line that read, "North Walkway Gate, possible bloody latent." The next day, in the same room, an updated index had that line gone. The clerk shrugged and blamed a binder swap. The kind of bureaucratic chaos that eats evidence alive.
Or the kind of chaos that eats photocopies, double feeds and typos. You know copiers. I trust a hot laminator more than late-night toner. Also, anonymous anecdotes are fun, but they're not evidence. Moving right along, if a bloody latent existed, there would be a lift card, a photo log, a property report. Something. The absence of all that points to misremembering, not malfeasance.
Maybe not. The same trial world had a judge carefully limiting what jurors heard from the McKinney tapes, which fed the vibe that there's more we're not being told. And remember, at least 14 people said only one glove was at the condo, so the second glove at Rockingham looked damning but narratively pliable for the defense. A bloody latent at the gate would have been different. It's a moment frozen in a ridge pattern, touched metal, less arguable than a glove's journey.
Here's the deal. Chain of custody confusion is not the same as conspiracy. The prosecution even conceded the slur usage on tapes while arguing the Wilder violence talk was exaggerated bravado for a screenplay. A 1997 police review said he grossly exaggerated those violent claims, which undermines his unsupported assertions elsewhere, including a destroyed print. And then there's Vincent Bugliosi's point. If officers had actually fabricated evidence in a double homicide that could be death eligible, they'd be risking extreme penalties. A sprawling planting conspiracy is implausible.
Sure, but this isn't me pushing a big conspiracy. It's me saying a single forensic clue could have been lost in the whirlwind. The scene was massive, the pressure insane, the media glare blinding. I mean, Cato's thumps are part of why they moved around the property fast that night. Exigent entry, rushing adrenaline. It's exactly the environment where a half-documented thing can appear and then vanish. I believe a gate latent could have been noted and then mishandled or misfiled. That is not beyond belief.
And I believe human memory is squishy. Witnesses confabulate, notes get misread, rumours backfill gaps. Plus, the thing that actually happened is already extraordinary. He denied using the N-word, got impeached, and later pled no contest to perjury, which killed his credibility without needing a missing print. The jury heard just 2 short tape clips, and that was enough. The glove looked small on Simpson, latex undergloves, and leather shrinkage explanations be damned. Optics overruled forensics. The point is a phantom print would have struggled to cut through that fog anyway.
But imagine if that latent had been preserved and matched to Simpson. It would have sliced right into the planting story. A mark on Nicole's own gate. You don't need to believe in ghosts to see how that could have swayed at least one juror. I mean, I'm the ghost hunter here. But even I prefer a bloody ridge detail to a vibe.
Counterfactuals are fun, but the record is the record. No preserved gate print, no exhibit, no lab tie. The defence never proved planting. Prosecutors kept the case on the physicals they did have, and then got kneecapped by credibility and context. Post-Rodney King Los Angeles, a predominantly black jury, and systemic mistrust. It all mattered.
So here's my bigger question. When one missing or muffled piece of evidence can swing the entire public story, are we judging truth or just the survival rate of paperwork under pressure?
Let's put a pin in that for now. If you want a deep, balanced immersion, watch OJ, Made in America. It lays out the timeline, the tensions, and yes, Fuhrman's role without the forum rumor mill.
All right, moving on. I'm grabbing a burrito the size of my forearm after this. You in?
Obviously, and I'm bringing forensic-level napkins. Thanks for listening, friends. If you've got thoughts on phantom prints, or you were a night shift runner with spicy binder stories, hit us up.
Keep questioning, keep looking under the veil, and we'll see you next time.